Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Get to you, McDonald's here in Cherville for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We had a great breakfast today when you come see the ball games. What was you going to say, Chip?
I was going to ask JP. He said he was calling. Were you calling somebody down in Cat Square to make that arrangement, pick up some of that shine?
No.
Today on KDC Broadcast, and Chip, you want to read our broadcast schedule there for the folks at home?
We'll take a look at the schedule here. On WOHS, we got NCAA basketball starting at 12 noon. McNeese State, Terry's pick against Purdue. That'll be followed up around 2:40. Arkansas versus St. John's. Calipari versus Patino. 6:10, you've got Texas Tech taking on Drake, as Kevin said, not the rapper. And then wrapping things up on WHS this evening around 9:40 will be UCLA versus the Volunteers of Tennessee. And then on 92.9 WCSL starting at 12 noon, we'll have McNeese State versus Purdue. And then we'll switch over to racing at 3:30 p.m. We've got the Hard Rock BET 300 Xfinity race. Then we'll come back to NCAA basketball around 6:10 with Texas Tech versus Drake, and then 9:40 UCLA versus Tennessee. That's on WCSL and WHS.
Hopefully, Chip got you folks straightened out with all of that. We're going to check
Yeah,
out.
and don't forget, I mean, I did that the other day. Sitting around at school, I turned on the radio, and KTC had us all covered for the college basketball playoffs.
I got a bunch of different, some different baseball stuff today. Nothing, they're not playing, we're not playing game. Well, I guess they did just start in Japan. You like that, Terry, starting national pastime in Japan?
Now, you know who you're asking.
So there's a reason they directed that at you and not me.
Big fan.
Not really.
All right, so check out this bat flip on this home run, and it gets a little ridiculous out here, but
First of all, if I had that great big guy throwing to me and I hit one off of him, I'd backflip it too.
Well, you might not say that in a second. It's 3-2 Coastal. Coastal's on the mound. Troy's at the plate, and this is a solo shot. Let's see if we got anything.
Stadium. Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty cool.
Did you get that? That one's going to be hit deep. So
That's the
right
bat.
field, that one's going back. It is gone.
Did you see the bat?
A home run for Stephen Meyer.
He gonna hurt somebody.
That one looks to
Yeah, but
tie it up.
Well, there
We
shouldn't
may
be
have
nobody over
an
our worries.
issue,
Right?
though. As
Does that
Meyer
need
is going
to
to
make
touch
some type
home
of rules
plate.
on back
He had
flipping, Terry?
that one's
You guys
that
deal
one's
with
gonna
this
be
all the
hit
time. Tom,
deep.
watch this one.
So right field, that one's going back. It is gone. A home run
They
for
call him out.
No.
In high school, you're going to let him finish his trot, and then you're going to throw him out of the game when he touches home plate.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to do.
that one's going to be hit
This
deep.
is
So right
Troy,
field, that one's
Alabama.
going.
Look how high this thing is.
But this is why kids do it, because
Right.
they see it on social media and they want to be cool like this kid, and it's just, I don't know.
Act like you've done it before.
Right. I mean, there's some times where I think they go a little bit too far.
So that tied the game at 3. Then
yeah.
Coastal turned around and scored 8 straight on them and made it 11-3. So it didn't matter. It was a very insignificant bat flip.
I'm just.
See if you guys have seen this call at first. Terry, if you had the temporary bases, either one of you, Tom?
Yeah.
The orange bases?
The double first base?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is West Virginia, Arizona. Play at first.
They're trying to prevent the train wreck at first base with that.
He's off the base.
He's out.
Yes.
Correct call, Terry?
Yes. Now, you can't be over there.
He's off the base.
That's
He's out.
only for
Yes.
the running. I've seen balls. Now here's strange. I've seen balls who have hit that base, and they call it fair.
I've never, in my 27 years, I've never done a game with a double first base.
Okay.
You, Terry?
Yeah, I've done games.
Okay, I've never done a game with a double first base.
And
I kind of like it because it keeps that runner in his running lane.
It does.
And now you don't have to judge, like, is he coming to the base You know what I mean? Because if he's in his running lane, Terry, he's got to come to the left a little bit. And if that throws a little off, that's where you have the train wreck.
Yeah.
And then everybody's saying, is it interference, obstruction, all that? That double first base keeps him over there. And it's not going to prevent it, but it's less likely.
Mm-hmm.
How
It's
about
less likely.
Tom? You're a bet man. Would you have bet on the defensive play of the Dodgers Tokyo series here? Would be a former Heisman winning quarterback.
No.
Anyone want to make a guess on who makes an appearance in this shot?
Not Manziel.
I gave you a tip.
Not Manziel.
Tim Tebow.
Terry, you got a guess?
I'm not.
Old school. They're too young with these two guys. I need an old school Heisman winner, Terry. They used to be a Dallas Cowboy, a Carolina Panther. All kinds of hints.
And he won the Heisman.
We had a Carolina Panther that was a Heisman.
Side over his Muncie, and he reaches over. He made the catch. Did he make it? He did not. No. Oh my goodness. That looked like it was in his glove for a moment.
That's Rodney Pete, boys.
And I want to tell you something. The guy looked like he is pissed because he called it.
He
the
missed
ball
it
was
already.
already by.
Yeah, he missed it.
He did not. No.
He did miss it.
Oh my goodness.
No,
Yeah, he
would,
ain't catching that
There's
anyway.
no way
Yeah,
he would have never caught that
No,
anyway.
He wasn't going to catch it. But Rodney Pete looks at him like,
He was like,
Oh my goodness.
like the Grinch.
That looked like it was in his
that's
glove for a moment.
That's cool.
just staring him down.
So Rodney Pete
Like you can't get this, buddy.
makes the play of the week. over
Rodney
there
Bartman.
in Japan. Y'all didn't know that was going to happen.
It's like
That's cool.
Rodney let himself go a little bit, though, man.
Now, Tom, you were asking about Terry's umpire, and I've got exclusive footage here of Terry umpiring a little league ball game.
Oh Lordy.
And if you want to see his strike zone, here we go. The wind and the pitch.
Strike.
Now, oh, wait a minute. You ready? Eric Gregg. That's your Greg Maddox strike zone right there, boys. That was in the other batter's box.
Look where the catcher like slid over halfway to the dugout to frame that pitch.
He framed it. He framed it from the middle of the batter's box, Tom, to the edge of the batter's box. He had the nerve to frame that. He still ain't even in the zone. The frame is a foot and a half outside the zone.
Like the catcher,
And he's holding it.
there's no part of the catcher's body that's blocking the umpire's body from the camera view. That's when you know
Tom,
you're
Tom, you falling for that frame job?
Look at that.
You know, and I was telling some of the coaches, my philosophy is like over the years I try not to go too far outside, but you got to give the whole zone over the plate. You know, you got to give the pitch around the cap of the knees, but you have to go up to the middle of the abdomen. I mean, really, and if they say anything, I'm like, it's over the plate.
Yeah.
You know, but if you start calling that stuff, you can't hit it. I know from the dugout, it looks like a strike. You know what I mean? But it's just like you can't hit that pitch. But if a ball is above your navel, you can hit it. Yeah. If the ball's at the cap of your knees and over the plate, you can hit it.
All right, between the bat flip and the celebrations, is it time for technical fouls in baseball or something? Like, check this out from Michigan. I'll let you come to your own conclusions.
If you bat flip in high school baseball, you're ejected.
Did you see that one?
What do you do?
What the?
What?
Oh.
It's hard to see with our
like
faces.
He's
snorting.
yeah, that
Oh, it's like snorting cocaine.
that foul line.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what he's doing, Tom. I'm glad you think you know what he's doing.
I wouldn't know.
I know, Tom.
Looks like he's
Explain that more.
doing. Looks like
I thought he was trying to see what the chalk line smelled like. Tom's making other conclusions. But yes,
I mean, I did watch movies from the '80s, Kevin.
Is that an
Right.
objectionable offense?
Should be.
I mean, it's just.
I don't. This whole.
What are you going to call, Tom? That's what I want to hear.
I mean,
unsportsmanlike.
Bringing shame to the game.
Unsportsmanlike.
Whatever
there's
that rule
times
is.
I try to like deal with it discreetly. Like last night, we had a woman with an artificial noisemaker, which you're not allowed to have.
Yeah.
So like I walk over there and
Some umpires don't know that.
I walk over there and I said, "Hey, you can't have the artificial noise maker." And then some of the kids were like,
Oh yeah, I had this last week.
on the fence, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like,
You don't even have to deal with it.
I don't want to deal with it. You're
No,
right,
that's true.
Kevin.
That's true.
because
Kevin,
nobody knows the rules.
Kevin, you're right. But in the back of my mind, I was with a younger guy, and in the back of my mind, I said, I know they can't do that. But it's not really, they're not saying, you suck, you suck. I mean, they're just kind of.
And nobody's saying nothing.
They're just
so
kind of
you-
into the game, and nobody's saying anything, and it's in the back of my mind. But then here he comes.
You got to address it.
How long are you going to let that Bush League stuff go on? I'm
Yeah.
like, Coach, I'll take care of it right now. And I did, and they stopped.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that's like, and that's what you have to kind of detach yourself as an umpire is like, okay, this is going on. It's not really bothering anybody, but a rule's a rule. And you run into this problem. A rule's a rule. You don't want to pick up the crap end of the stick. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where it's like, no matter what I do here, because there are some coaches are saying, well, what's he crying about? We're just into the game. My kids can't get into the game. My kids can't cheer. And you get into that, but you're not allowed to. Like if a kid is like taking a billy club and beating on a trash can, it's a little easier to deal with. Like if they're just over there on the fence doing this right here and like getting into the game, it's like, in my opinion, it's not really hurting anything. Yeah. But then some people don't like it, you know, especially if they're getting beat.
That's when you're creeping up to the line.
And that's when you're creeping up to the line, and by the book you can't do that. But then you hear stuff from the dugout all the time, Terry. You know that I could get that kid for doing that, but if you do, then I'm wrapped up in this, and now I'm not safe out. Balk, no balk. You know. Pick off, not pick off. And
you know what? We
don't want to get into.
What's aggravating about it is that from the umpire's perspective, Tom, you should be able to go to the coach and be like, "Hey guys, can y'all calm that down a little bit?" And they'd be okay.
And
I would say, and a lot of times you're not going to get that. You're going, why is that a problem?
Yeah.
Or why can't we do it like you just said? Why can't we do that instead of just like chill? And that was the thing in the league we played in. I have adults and people that aren't on a team in a dugout yelling pitcher, 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 batter, batter, batter directly at the players who aren't even participating in the game.
Yeah.
I
And they
addressed
do it
that
as
and they
the
end
pitch
it.
is
And
being
then the
made
very
or
next
something.
game, in the very next game to protest that, like you just said, Tom, you would just simply ask, hey guys, that's the rule, don't do that. You would think we would accept it. No, the very next game, the parents organize and bring cowbells.
Yeah.
And I'm the bad guy.
Let me tell you what
And
I
I'm
run
the bad
into.
guy for pointing it out and knowing you can't bring the cowbells, you can't yell at my pitcher, you can't yell at my batter. I had a momentary sitting 5 feet behind the batter in a 11, 12-year-old game going batter, batter, swing. Batter, 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 swing. An adult at 11 and 12-year-old game yelling to someone else's kid,
And I'm like
batter,
Tom,
batter, batter, swing. Shut
a lot of that
up.
stuff you do not want to deal with.
Yeah.
This past week, we're doing our county championship. Now y'all listen to me. We're doing our county championship, and the kids over on the bench, all of a sudden, as loud as they can be. Guy that's with me, calls time. You guys cannot do that.
See, but if you
But
do it,
wait a minute. Here's his restaurant. But the people over here can, pointing at the crowd. Guess what? I mean, then the whole crowd. I'm like, now that really solved a lot.
To me,
I mean, you know,
Nobody acts like an adult when you go to a
I'm
ball
like,
game.
what
I will
in the
say,
world?
I quietly
At whatever age.
the artificial noise maker. Like I heard it in one inning. I'm like, man, and then like I forgot about it, and then I heard it in another inning, and I just said, hey man, I don't know who's doing it. You know, could you
Just
tell
stop.
that fan to stop it? And then when the coach, he was upset. He goes, "Oh no, I'm getting beat." And I was like, "I'll take care of it." And I went quietly.
Whoever's
I
running
went-
the complex
yeah,
should be running that.
Went quietly over. and
facilities
say-
director.
Went quietly over and say, "Hey, could you take care of that for me?" And both coaches did. And I think sometimes if you just kind of deal with it discreetly, and there was one time where we had an infield fly, and the kid turned and ran. And it was an infielder trying to catch the ball, but he had turned and ran. That's not ordinary effort. You know, he had turned and ran. So we didn't call an infield fly. And the coach was, you know, the coach knows the rule that it doesn't matter who catches it. Could the ball have been caught by an infielder with ordinary effort? So you make a judgment on that. And then he said, the ball went down. He goes, was that not an infield fly? And the umpire said, well, it's not on the infield. That's not how you answer that question. You don't say that. So he goes, that's not the rule. And I came up. I said, Coach, it's not ordinary effort. Or I said it was extraordinary effort. Can't remember exactly what I said.
Yeah.
But then I just went between innings and I said, hey man, I understand his argument, but your assistant coach can't be yelling at my baseman like that, man. I'm just telling you, if you want to come to the 45 and ask me a question, you can. I said, but you just can't yell at him like that. And that's the last time it happened.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes if you can like lower the temperature.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you try to lower the temperature and then sometimes like you kick yourself, you're like, man, I could have got away with dealing with that a little bit sooner without raising the temperature. But you definitely want, you're the umpire, so you're trying to remain calm. If you get angry, and I'm not saying I haven't got angry in games because I have, and there's some people I don't like, Terry, and you're like that too. There's some people that bring out the worst.
But every
on
game's
you.
different.
So
So
every
give them
game's
the
different.
opportunity.
You bring a good point, Tom. Too. It's like I hate to make this comparison, but y'all are a lot like law enforcement. It's the onus is on you to de-escalate or to keep the situation de-escalated.
Right.
I don't. This whole thing with the bat flips and the one. And you've got the modern day mentality with a lot of even the coaches is, the boys just want to have fun. The boys just want to have fun.
Right.
Okay, when did the only way that the teams could have fun include one upping the other team?
Yeah.
Just a complete lack of sportsmanship and decorum.
Chip, how was your oldest?
7.
Oh, you're in for some fun times with other parents at other events and stuff that take things way too serious.
I don't.
And act like fools.
I did announcing. I announced. I won't say the company or whatever, but or the entity that sponsored this. But I announced several basketball games last weekend, and it was youth league age, and nothing about it made me want to have my kids be involved in youth league. And I never thought I would say that.
I don't know.
I never thought I would say that.
I don't know if you guys know him, but there's a former student of mine. His kids are playing baseball. His name's Shane Richard, and he had like a form. It was so funny. It's like request to transfer from my current travel ball team, and it said reason why. Kid not batting first in the lineup. My kid is good enough to play infield.
Oh my gosh!
I know. But that's the travel ball culture, and it's like it kind of nailed the way these parents think,
who are infinitely worse than the kids.
So
your kids feed off of
I mean,
it.
it was just so funny. I said, I need to make a copy.
And to Kevin's point about you being able to have that conversation, and baseball, I want to feel like it's more prevalent in a way, because if you're at a football game and the players are stepping over the line that they're supposed to on the sidelines, back up. They do it most of the time. There's no, and the coaches are usually the ones. Philip Russ is normally one of the first ones sitting there saying, "Back up, guys, get back." There's no, but in baseball, it's like the coaches. If you try to respectfully, diplomatically say, "Coach, they can't be doing that," or "Your crowd can't be doing," it's like the coach bows up. It's like, "Why don't you just pay attention to the game instead of taking care of all this stuff?"
There's a lot of coaches that'll say just that. I won't say one, but there was one where it's a Legion game. He comes out there and paints a line in front of the dugout and said, "I'm extending my dugout. I'm letting my players sit here. You can only extend the dugout towards the outfield.
Right.
You can't extend the dugout towards the field."
Mm-hmm.
And I came over there. I won't tell you who he is, but he's been removed from his current coaching position, thank goodness. But I said, "Coach, you can't do that. Tom, all you do is worry about stupid stuff. That's your problem. That's why you're not a good umpire." You know?
That's a great way to set the tone.
I mean, it's just like, man, I told the supervisor. I mean, this has been years ago, but he said, "Yeah, you did the right thing. It's a rule book. You can extend the dugout towards the outfield. You can't extend it towards the field of play. It's dangerous."
Right.
And you want your players out there to heckle the other team. That's why they're out there. You want them closer. And it's like, why in the world? Your responsibility of the safety of these kids. Why would you want to put them in harm's way?
But it's stupid.
All
That's
right,
stupid.
enough umpires.
Yeah.
All right, 11-year-old boy pulled a Paul Skeens Major League debut patch baseball card. Pirates offered him a bunch of years of a bunch of gear and a bunch of lifetime season tickets or something like that. He turned it down and sold it for $1.1 million. Paul Skeens, the best pitcher, will be paid $800,000 $75,000 this year. So the kid who pulled your card, who Terry, that's maybe his first pack of cards in his life.
Think of that.
Pulls $1 million card. I know somebody who's got every rookie from like 57 to 87 who doesn't have a $1.1 million of baseball cards. But they just make this card with a patch on it, and somebody pays it $1.1 million for it. This kid gets $1 million at 11 years old, and it's more than the actual baseball player is getting paid to play.
If you pay $1.1 million for a baseball card, you have too much money.
Think about it. The Pittsburgh Pirates won't even pay that much for the actual player.
Not just the jersey.
But someone paid for that dude's card with a clip of his jersey on it, Tom.
It's
more than that. More than the actual player.
I might have told you this story before, but I remember the first time I ever bought a pack of any cards, and my mom gave me money. We were at a youth league basketball game. My sister was playing, and I went to my mom gave me money to go to the concession stand to get candy, and I went over there. Well, they had NBA, I forget what, Fleer, Don, whatever, the NBA card packs. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I instead of getting candy, I got a pack of cards. So I went back to where my parents were sitting, and my mom's furious. I didn't give you that money for basketball cards. I gave you my money for candy. And she just leans back, and then my dad, nice little father-son moment, my dad leans in. He's like, did you get anything good? And I opened it up, and I got a Magic Johnson All-Star card. I'll never forget in the very first pack I ever got. I think I Kevin McHale. It was neat. But it was a fun moment. Like my dad been like, it's okay. I get it. I understand.
I also want to give credit out to a guy, and I don't even know his name. He comes over our Optimus program all the time. And, again, I wish I knew his name, but he will come in there, pay his way in, and he'll watch 3 basketball games. Now, whether he has anybody affiliated with the league or anybody or a grandson or somebody playing, I do not know.
Mm-hmm.
But when he comes in, he has a whole bag. And he goes to every one of them teams throughout the night and pulls out tons of cards that are wrapped and gives each kid one. It's from baseball to basketball, that's whatever that's in it. But, I wish I knew his name, but this gentleman does this every time.
Wow.
And that just flips me out.
All right, we're going to take a break here. Get JP to sit up. Let's see how fast he can sit up. Go, JP. Go, JP.
Don't let those allergies keep you down.
All right, so before we go, we've the Orioles AA affiliate Chesapeake team.
Here's you, Tom.
Is changing
Carolina
their name.
Country, WCSL 92.9.
Top of the hour.
Is changing their name for a few games this year. And as we go to break, and I'm going to mute Tom halfway through, but I'm going to let him try to guess the mascot's name as we go to break. Now, this is the Orioles AA Chesapeake Bay team, okay? You got Tom? You got all the hints you need.
All right.
All right, here we go. We'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Supplies at Today's Pro in Shelby. They've got to be sold to make room for new inventory. Prices have been reduced drastically. You can save up to 50%. All pool supplies, including pool chemicals, they've got to go. And for those backyard cookouts, remember Today's Pro does propane refills, and they carry Monessa and Empire stove imports. That's Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, online at todayspro.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Here come the Blue Devils.